this is a video that can really go either way in just a hell of a lot of ways. So it's really interesting to see how Inferno turns out, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's super crazy to sort of watch growth in real time, I think, for this forZe squad, because having new maps come into their pool as well, in terms of like Nuke becoming a pretty firm stable that they're trying to actually cement within their own map pool. Vertigo could very much be the same case. We'll have to wait to get there. Of course, Inferno now kicking itself off for starting on that T side, and they've got 2 bits of utility. The dualies are out here for TMB as well on the Madline side, but they don't have any kits, so keep an eye on those post plants. Madlines actually went for a B stack, started this pistol, but have very quickly moved to 4 players A.
And I mean, that smoke towards Moto could just block out 2 of them. They'll have to jump through. Waro and Team B don't want to be blocked off, and that means JL is isolated. They're trying to move around it, though. The smoke is even slightly off. Flash is too late. Shalfie's got 1, TMB and Waro both still able to chime in, and with Sawsaw rotating back as well, it's a full 3-on-3 on the bomb side. Bora from Pit will have to put a big performance up, and it's Sawsaw to find the bomb and drop it in mid.
Oh god, they're coming into the crossfire, and there's so much damage done to Sawsaw. War trying to alleviate that pressure, but Sawsaw just stands his ground, make sure that bomb can go nowhere, and Madlines lock it down at A.
That is just wonderful. I mean, the reactions coming out from TMB and Waro in that position, the flash doesn't really do too much, but even then, they're able to put themselves in a position where they can work around the smoke perfectly. The smoke actually looked like it whiffed pretty heavily, though. It doesn't, I mean, that...
Unless fully enrapture that Moto position, right?
Yeah, and that means that they don't get gray screen when they're going for the peak. They don't have to take the full wide swing out. So already forZe, just the best around, but that's not a good sign.
Good flash towards top B. This is a full force from forZe, and Jerry was hoping to catch players, maybe caught off guard by the pace. Now the flashes again. TMB blinded further. It's also trying to keep things under control at the very least, and he'll control it. 2 players down. TMB at the back of the bomb site.
And TMB is just going to be staying his ground. There's no Molotovs to force him out. There's no way they can clear him without pushing through. And he thought he could overwhelm if they tried to overrun him. But Norway finds the kill and gets the bomb plant nonetheless. Actually, Waro, an opportunity that isn't quite taken, is denied the bomb plant. So at least the T's will have money, and Shalfie is trying to make it the opposite for the CT side. A couple of deagle shots being missed means that no chance in the round, but even just taking away that extra gun or 2, that's going to be quite helpful.
Yeah, pretty costly round there from Madlines, considering the investment there from forZe, especially since they get that bomb planted as well. So it's kind of worth the endeavor. We should see them now go for maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, but nothing further. This will stress out this CT side economy, which has been more and more redeemable with the introduction of the A1S, of course. You know, it's cheaper, all in all. We see, I think, more handily dealt with half buys, although that hasn't been the case this series.
Absolutely not.
They actually go for the full force buy on the side of forZe. They smell weakness.
Problem is, when you go swimming for blood in the water, you're not sure if it's yours or theirs. So, could end up bleeding out very quickly. Of course, the all-in gamble is really something I love to see anyway.
You try not to kick your legs too hard if you've got a wound in the water.
Okay, that is true as well.
The sharks, they smell movement. That's just not true.
And it really isn't. Their noses suck. Bora, however, he's going to start to make his movement back over. Between Jail and Borup, this bomb site's going to come down to the 2 of them. Wara's inside a smoke, and Borup's found himself 1. Sawsaw quickly stepping in as well with the tax trap.
Yeah, and War is just there in time. They have that crossfire within the bomb site. He cheated around the smokes towards Moto. There's another smoke that was thrown as well, just to allow him access to that grave position. And Madlines keeping things under wraps. 3 in a row. That force buy from forZe doesn't yield anything, but now they're on a pretty hefty loss bonus, so now we should see half buy into full buy. All according to what I actually anticipated to be the 3rd round, in all fairness. They've done this, and they've pushed themselves away from one more proper gun round here on this T side.
It's a very heavy investment going into it, actually. Not bringing yourself down to 2K instead of down to 1,000 on a few of these people. I mean, you need a bomb plan.
not strictly necessary, but especially if they want to supplement that AWP, make sure he's not just running around glass cannon. Would be great.
I mean, 2,900 is not going to be enough for the full buy.
They've got 3,400. It's chill.
Oh, right, of course, first.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It'd be easy to forget. So much muscle memory from
just counting.
Yep.
It's a bit of a risky. Oh my god, yes, please, Zordy. Do some more of that. Suddenly this could turn on its head, and Soulsol will prevent it from doing so. Sure, a few more headshots come in. He's weak. But it's Kenzie who's found a bit more blood and a lot more water. That water, unfortunately, will drown out Shelfie entirely and Kenzie all alone. That was a beautiful shot. So I was just about to comment on the danger of going for that jump peek in front of Deagles. And there you go.
That was like less than a pixel showing of him as well. By the time they actually rounded the corner. So crazy they find that. That's
I'm really hopeful that we can have like a slow motion replay of that.
I put a lot of pressure on the replay op. But yeah, in spite of the fact that they find this quick entry, the fact that TMB is jump spotting topside B, they don't anticipate there's going to be another player there to respond so quickly. Of course, Soulsol was kind of lined up to provide maybe a bit of utility sailing over the top should it be necessary.
Oh,
like, I can't even see him, man. Like, how has he killed him?
Shout out to Gunner, of course. Wonderful replay off.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's some good stuff. So also you're finding those 3 kills. And you're right. It really is one of those situations where you're just making the call. Oh my god, they gamble A most likely. Let's go, let's go, 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 go. And then in the go calls, you miss the no calls, which is the no, no, no. There's an M4 on the other side.
Abort! Oh, now full gun round here for forZe. We're 5 rounds into the game, man. This is where it finally comes out.
Maybe they're without the supporting AWP if they want to go for it at any point.
God, they're just taking so much damage at the start of this round. Not only by utility, but some of the spam that comes through as well. Courtesy, A1S.
Yeah. Just really makes you wonder whether we're going to go back to a meta where CTs will generally heavily contest banana early on. You know, we did see, especially because the Gambit more staggered. Hey, we're just going to chill and wait for and not use our utility. Oh, that would be big if he did, but decides against it, doesn't want to reveal his position.
Yeah, there's 3 players fighting for top B control, and at least trying to separate Soulsol from the bomb site takes a decent amount of damage from the Molotov. forZe back away from B, and as do Mad Lions with that 3-man setup. Now back to 3 a day.
War is also in a fast rotation position where you can chuck out a quick flash to protect from archers. That smoke means that TMB can get a bit more aggressive behind it, spraying through the M4. He's just trying to get anything done here, but it'll be nothing. JL, quick snipe out from on top of that balcony. Shelfie will trade, but TMB quickly going back. He gets a nice shot in, but he can't follow up. And it's Borup who's got to do it all, but does nothing. Instead, Waro will find Jerry, keeps things even while the bomb's being plotted, wanted to make a move, but it's already down, and Waro's found. Zorte. He's got him away. Soulsol all alone. Flashbang's not going to find anyone now that he's spotted out. A quick strafe from Shelfie. Delivers the round.
Yeah, great entries onto the bomb site there from Shelfie. The fact that not only does Mad Lions come away with the opening kills, but they're able to sort of pick apart the setup as players peeked individually there. Actually, 1 taps in from Shelfie. But just making sure to coordinate with his teammate towards the tail end of that as well, making sure this didn't fall out of favor. We saw a couple of staggered peaks from forZe's T side on overpass. Good to see that that's not bleeding through into their own pick as well. We saw all that damage being dealt to Mad Lions continuously over those first 4 rounds. You can see the effect it's having now. Down to upgraded pistols, that 1 M4. We have to run a little light on utility. Those early Molotovs have been thrown.
Michael, what deagle is that? Because that is just ridiculously cool. The opposite of the print stream. Kenzie. Kind of tagged up for now. We'll just be forced to back.
You can't quiz me on skins. I'm not like that.
All right, Michael. We'll find out together. Twitch chat. Zorte finds TMB.
Someone send help. Someone get an expert in here. Someone with the power of Google at their fingertips.
Where's Cronny when you need him?
Yeah, he deep in the skin game.
It is true.
Well, I was a little worried here for forZe, not going to pretend. A lot of that early damage, I think that was a nade that landed on Nori at the start of the round. And didn't exactly look like these trades were going to be too fruitful. Even in spite of them getting those kills, you know, it leaves them very vulnerable to Deagles getting one-shot body shots. And that would have been more and more T-sided players dealt with. But after finding the entry at B, it's no big deal.
Of course,
like a hunt, neither should forZe.
Of course, for anyone who is just tuning in right now, wondering, wait, why? Since when do we have third place matches? Well, this isn't exactly a third place match. This is a match to decide who gets the EPL conference slot and who gets to be a part of potentially the biggest league in the world.
Yeah. Prize pool's already determined. You know, both third and fourth. They're getting 10K each.
Oh, pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
Those grand finals will be on later on tonight between Fnatic and Big. It's going to be a big match with a lot to prove on the line. A lot of different narratives going into things. If you want to find out more about those, you can check up Alan Hender on Twitter. He made a nice little list of those. Paladin, of course, the secondary analyst, who's also been doing some great work over here between the two of them. I think they're newer entrants on the DreamHack broadcast, but you know, it doesn't feel like it.
Of course, first and second, that money ain't decided yet.
Indeed.
And Fnatic haven't lost a series since the Smooya pickup, so that's
Have they lost a map?
They have.
Okay.
Never a series.
Oh, this grenade. It is difficult to deal with. Sorsol will, at the very least, get some consolation of his teammates' broken legs.
Yeah, trying to fall back. Happy with the one that they've already found. Of course, they're not in an investment round here on the side of Mad Lions, saving those 3 players over on the previous. A couple of them only suited with Deagle armor, but could be more than enough to go toe for toe and blow for blow against some of these rifles on the side of forZe. So they're going to be the problem, though. They're losing players on the extremities of the map, and with TMB only equipped with a USP, I don't exactly favor his chances should they go towards that A bomb site. Good news for him is that forZe are throwing utility over at B. Bomb's making its way over that direction too.
And they've made the call predicated of the quick kill, expecting rotations perhaps to come out from Mad Lions. But you know what? They've got the Molotovs as well to flush these players out. You've got to use them, though. Can't just lead them for the post-spawn.
Yeah, they're contacting in.
I mean, this could be really disastrous, especially with Sosol's position. You're not going to be looking at pre-fire, and Bomb's been dropped. He's got more damage in as well. These Deagles could be massive, and Borb needed to step up, but he just doesn't get it down. Woro missing out his shots as well, and an opportunity right in their laps, but snatched out away from them. Kenzie. How to get that last kill as well if the gun advantage does say anything, though USB can be pretty sneaky.
Yeah, unlucky there for TMB. Kenzie's off angle, a little hard to deal with. If TMB wasn't walking around with his knife there, he actually maybe doesn't get spotted, because when you hold out your knife, you know, your hands go off to your sides.
It's a hugging position, indeed.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas that wouldn't have been the case if he was gripping his pistol. Doesn't matter, though. Was pretty much a done deal. forZe had already taken control of the bomb site. You only had a USP. Yada, yada, yada. Don't need to talk about the firepower matchups, but now firepower should be equalized, at least somewhat. No AWP out for Mad Lions, which is a little disappointing, to be quite honest. You want to get Woro in a place where he can kind of take control of the game, because we saw some of the shots he was capable of coming away from that first map. That means Zorte can be uncontested at these distant fights. Good control for Mad Lions over towards B, though. They go for deeper banana, and forZe won't fight for it.
And speaking of uncontested, Jerry's not been putting up much contest himself, and despite that, his team has found its way up to relevancy. 0-6 on the man right now, despite a 1 rest overpass performance, and now a quick take for Arches coming through. Is there a flash for Sossol to peek out? Seems like they're trying to place a map, but no one's blind. Woro will have to step up on his own. It's a successive one-on-one, but he doesn't win it out there. It's Borb and JL instead who step up. Jerry, position of JL is revealed. He's even trying to spam through. Generally goes the other way around, but that is just nice.
And all he had to do was distract. He had his teammate in pit as well that could try and cover his bases. And Zorte's just going to hightail it out of there, firing off a shot in defeat. And it will be another 1 round here for Mad Lions. Just holding true to the bomb sites. And if not for the fact that not only Borb is getting those kills, War is going 1-for-1. Dale can sleep a little safer knowing that he did his job as well. His back was covered. All he had to worry about was his front. Overall,
it's so annoying.
It's just really good to see as well that Mad Lions, I mean, both teams in general seem to have really robust CT sides when it comes to playing off of one another, making sure they can establish these quick crossfires as well within the site. You know, forZe are going to throw a lot of that utility at you, and even in moments of disruption, able to effectively communicate those across. Even in these more hectic moments, like we were talking about, this being both of these teams being fairly inexperienced squads, and so the fact that that's not one of the main issues is always a good sign in terms of continuous growth, especially when we look to project them further or deeper within the top 30.
Still no AWP out for War, unfortunately, so we are still going to be denied that for a while longer. Good grenades, though, in the meanwhile.
They have the follow-up in towards the logs, because that could be the undoing of Zorte if one is thrown.
Been juiced out right now. More and more squeezing.
Yeah, counter nades from forZe are great. Thought they were going to come out the worst in that utility exchange, but Soulsol and TMB within an inch of their life.
I mean, look at how aggressively forZe have just taken back in control, but Mad Lions are not willing to rotate just quite yet. There's still Norby in position. Kenzie revealing himself might be a cue for them to run away, and that seems to be the call, but Borb's already found Jerry as well. So that's an advantage gained, and Kenzie still with position known. It all comes down to what Shalfie can do as he's moved past Arches. Great back to deny the rotate. TMB is down, and they're suddenly threatened to be bomb side again. War's got to make a move and get aggressive in mid, but JL in turn finds Kenzie. They're losing out players all over the place, and Shalfie, in fact, despite getting the kill, just sets his team up for false hope.
Seeing some of those problems definitely come to fruition here for forZe on that T side. We talked a little bit about controlling some of these young guns, the fact that players kind of know what they want to do at certain timings, and they're all trying to go with their game plans. Like Shalfie takes control of the arches there. It could have been a three-man wrap into what is two players trying to defend on the side of Mad Lions. Instead, they're creeping through smokes, you know, getting picked off from behind, a little unsure about what their next move should be. There's no conviction. That's one of those spots where you're kind of hoping that Jerry kind of takes control of the situation and micromanages the same way that he kind of talked about previously on our desk. Instead, Mad Lions are pulling things through here on the CT side. Up to 6 already. You know, we're looking at a minimum, 10-5 half in ideal territories, 9-6. Once upon a time, we would have been talking about how T-sides would have had a pretty stark advantage.
I mean, I still feel like I slightly disagree with you. 10-5 is, I still a very good half.
You ain't seen the numbers. I'm saying 10-5 is kind of just like the ideal nowadays.
Okay.
If not, I mean, 10-5 double-digit score lines are always ideal anyway, but you get what I'm saying. It has moved more CT-sided now.
It's more expected, I suppose, by comparison to the past. But right now, I'm expecting forZe to have a tough time, Michael.
You know what, T-time? I think you're right.
Jerry being 0-8 doesn't really help. Heading over for a 0-9 with his HP looking the way it is.
I was praising him on the first map for keeping up with all these young bloods. Where's he
and
gone?
This is their map pick coming into it. Let's not forget. Overpass. I'm going to give them that excuse all day. It wasn't their map pick. You know what? You're not that good on the T side. That is not unforgivable. Still close out the map. But now, sorry, buddy, but this is your map pick.
Yeah.
You don't
want
get
a mouse
that
to a line.
Indeed. Oh dear. time's running down.
Yeah, I wanted to go for a holes pop on the side of forZe. Smokes are down, flashes in, and here's this pace.
Borup's in such a good position every single time, but Jerry is able to catch him out, finding himself his first, but Jail's still on site and ready. Shalfie takes him down, and Waro has to make a move. The shot through the smoke will connect with nothing, but the bomb's all the way back towards balcony, so Waro will have a lot more time to rotate back into it. 10 seconds, and now it's finally being planted. Molotov setup doesn't quite go through on time, otherwise Norby could have had found himself.
Oh, he's still burning.
Zorte is burning, Zorte is dead, and Shalfie, this off angle better deliver. If Stockholm moves on to the bomb site, though, that just becomes trouble, and now it's all Shalfie, and he's been revealed. TMB turns in time, and Mad Lions will stumble but not fall.
Yeah, they weren't expecting him to be in that spot as well. You could almost see that lining up, but it's not to be. Mad Lions able to trade things out effectively and not being able to establish that crossfire. That Molotov did so much more than Zorte expected. If not for the fact that that's thrown exactly on top of him, it spreads as well. He had nowhere safe to go. Both sides of that box seem to be enraptured in flames. That was actually Jerry's debut kill on the map. Little triple headshot into the graveyard. The flashes were great on the forZe pop flash, but JL has been doing great work in just getting consistent double kills from within the bomb site, that it's been difficult to go into A and not have him come up with the goods.
And JL's had some truly excellent moments, and this is one of those. And just the second forZe's full buy comes at you, already find yourself the early advantage. So Zorte, who's sure got one kill over on the relevant bomb side, but JL is just able to move straight past, get himself that double buy. Time for Borup, who's just standing out in the open. Off angle is necessary to be able to deal with this push that's coming through. Flash won't catch anyone. They hadn't moved out onto the balcony yet, and Stossel misses the timing. But Borup spots the rifle. That's Kenzie. He takes advantage of Borup, who is distracted, and TMB has been, well, diverted over back to the river of death.
Yeah, man's been decapitated. Straight through the smoke as well. forZe just cascading onto that bomb site. If not for the fact that Zorte is able to get this initial kill down middle, things may not have opened up. You needed JL to do better than what he'd been doing so well to be consistent at. You know, he gets another double kill. Needed 3.
Why you gotta be using those bougie words like decapitated? Well, you can just say, you know, you can just be one of those kids and say no cap.
Oh, God. Now that's cap.
Yeah. Well, right now we've got to see forZe continue to put out a couple of these situations. And Mad Lions... sorry, I just saw.
You still laughing at your own joke?
I just saw production reacting to it in chat as well.
Oh,
production chat.
Don't encourage him. I don't need more of this nonsense. And it's a bit of a non-buy here from Mad Lions. Half investments, considering the money wasn't great. SMGs and FAMASI, or FAMI. A familia of FAMASs.
We've really just gone and derailed the entire thing.
No, that's what's on the CTs. I'm still keeping on topic. Just being a little bougie about it.
Oh, good nay. That one's going to be keeping them very far back. Kenzie is down. That's a rare miss coming out from Waro. Jerry able to overcome, and Jail has to now try and use the smoke to his advantage. Shalfie's quite low, so just a bullet might do the trick, or at least even with 1 HP. Jerry gets another in the meanwhile, and now JL, who's moved fast, has got to try and find more, and he almost gets it, but the shot isn't enough. Shalfie can turn faster than the speed of light, apparently. And that just leaves TMB. Oh, grenade. Oh, yes! Please.
I thought I was going to get both of them. Both of them were so low HP, but somehow Nori rounded the corner in time. It's not going to be enough to tempt TMB into it. Oh, I must save the AWP. And you wouldn't blame him for it. Mad Lion's money is not monumental. In fact, far from it. They're in a rut. They're in debt. They've been really hammering this A bomb site, haven't they? forZe just keep on pressuring, in spite of the fact that their initial attempts seem to always be met with these strong crossfires here from Mad Lions. It seems like they have a pretty good understanding now of where these Mad Lions players are actually set up on this CT side, and so they can kind of hone in on a couple of spots.
I mean, your credit to JL still. That is just such great heads-up play, and the way he's still consistently moving around the map to, or rather around the site, to continually give him new angles to work off of. Just the fact that he holds trigger discipline for that is kind of ridiculous too when you think about it. You know, sure, he doesn't quite get the kill on a Shelfie, but even so, gives his team a legitimate chance in the round.
See if they can calm the storm that's brewing. At the moment, forZe are on a bit of a heater. Hitting successive rounds, and Mad Lions have to play around that saved AWP. Of course, it is in Woro's hands, who has invested in some armor alongside it. With kenzie on the lurk, he could be very liable to giving up his rifle. They've advanced down middle. Oh my god. If TMB goes on check, knife out from Shelfie, so that was dangerous territory. Now they know that TMB is here. Now they might even move themselves in towards a B-sided stack instead. It's all about how quickly Jerry scales up with it.
And the problem is, Jerry's already basically there. Once he shoots through the CD smoke, the information is given away, so they can't really push through. They need a couple of quick kills, and Jerry's not going to be contested at all because of that deep incendiary that is there. Now, funneling two through connectors sounds like a fine idea, but with the double Molotov used there, one would have been enough, but hey, why not? Fireworks all over the place. Bomb will go down. You don't have the double nade to try and deny it either.
Top is getting tagged. He got a little scared. He got off the plant. Didn't want to give an advantage away, and Mad Lions are still kind of fighting with this. They, of course, can prioritize Woro getting away with that AWP, but these pistols, they have more to gain.
I mean, but with kenzie in this position, and Woro getting away with this AWP is not a sure deal. You know, you could still have him being caught out. Sorte good for one over here. And, you know, kenzie seems like he's hurt Borup. Borup's going to go down, which should at the very least buy Borup his life over here. Rather, by Woro his life out here. Love to see what's going on that side. JL, some good shots, but again, Woro's the one who really has some sort of impact to latter rounds as well.
Well, it looks like he might get away with it. Oh, yep. kenzie not looking the right way. No problems. So now they can really invest around this. If not for if Woro had fallen, you know, that AWP wouldn't have been able to be afforded. The forZe are getting so much more success now on this T side. It was actually kind of looking like Mad Lions could dominate this half. If not for the fact that they finally breached through into that A bomb site continuously. Now they're applying pressure over towards B. They're trying to creep in, albeit it wasn't a round where they didn't have proper weaponry on the side of Mad Lions, and we'll see if they decide to change their approach. Deep nade is really solid.
I like the read that Mad Lions have continually been able to get on Banana, even if they're having some trouble with holding onto the A-bomb site. Banana's been this one place where they always get utility damage by having their grenades placed at the right spot. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, and they've been changing it up as well. You know, they've double naded logs. They've gone for some of these faster timings where forZe are trying to capitalize on spawns. And now the deeper nade is, I mean, yeah, couldn't have been better placed. So a weakened forZe. Overall healthy Mad Lions seem to understand that the apartments has been a frequent lurk path here for these forZe members, whether it's been kenzie, Shelfie is in this position now. Balcony. Oh god, he's getting spammed and just gets plucked out. Shelfie peeks boiler at the right time.
I mean, they got the audio cue that Woro was being caught out over there, and then after that, they just are able to quickly get a peek out of the flashbang. It's great communication between them. That's actually really nice way of dealing with it. Oh, good return from JL, but is he completely prepared for kenzie to be already in this position? Well, all comes down to this push from the B-bomb side. kenzie, though, he's got A down, and if they want to rotate, it would be a hell of a call to make with this little time left.
Yeah, they got to go now, though, because you can see Mad Lions are going to start to consider it as well. And with Jerry getting plucked off in the back lines, that will be the call. forZe are hightailing it out of there, trying to get this bomb planted over at the A bomb site instead. And Mad Lions realize what's happening. Problem is that they won't have much utility if they decide to go for a retake. That may not even be the consideration. They're saving. They ain't moving a muscle away from this B side. They know that they cannot buy in that follow-up round if they lose all of their weapons. And so they'll fight for half control. forZe have really recoiled on this T side. They're getting so much more success on these entries. And not only that, they're getting a better read on what Mad Lions are up to. And they've been trying to change things up on the CT side. They go for a double short side presence on the AWP. Like you said, the sound cues kind of give away what's going on. And we haven't seen forZe go for too frequent spams from the apartments. But this time it really bears fruit.
It's also where you can see, Michael, the failings of Mad Lions, where, you know, JL being forced to go for an information play when he's the only person on the bomb side. Despite Mad Lions having continual success in getting bombardment down in Banana, getting, you know, what should be favorable duels later on into the half, they're actually not choosing to take those duels. It is continually JL and, you know, sometimes forZe, sometimes also, but generally JL who's going out for those information plays, even if he's a solitary person on the bomb side itself. Otherwise, you know what, if he just waits for kenzie, that round looks like it's theirs in the back. If they just go for information on the B bomb side, if they just try and get a flash out of smoke or anything at all. But despite the advantages they're gaining, they're just not willing to take these contests. And Jerry right now is dominating them. And maybe that's why they've been worried. He's got two. Borup suddenly has to now play a little bit more proactively.
You can see a little bit of fear creeping through Warro's eyes as he was starting to make that rotate over, and Norway finds another entry. Now finally Warro makes that move, and JL has to make an information play once again, gets caught in transition. Now which way do you go? Which way is this bomb going? Because both bomb sites are lost.
Warro's not had the time of his life in this map so far. Score's not looking too bad, but unfortunately that round is forZe. We'll take away the 8th round after a very difficult beginning of the half. We'll have to see what they can do in the second after a short break.
Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Late at night, I feel you on my skin, you're all that's on my mind. It's finally sinking in. You're it. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out, but even with no makeup you still stand out. Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. That you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. You move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. You move your body. Electricity. You move your body.
A resuscitated forZe show us a quick finish in their advantage. The question is their life going to continue on much longer? I'm T-Time, joined by Michael, Yumi, Cassidy.
Who's the man doing CPR? Who's putting mouth to mouth? Because, I mean, I think it's Shelfie. I think it's Norte. Are they of legal age? We'll just, we'll leave that in the wind. They're trying to save lives over here.
Is there a legal age for CPR? What?
No, I don't think
okay.
so.
I got really worried for a second.
Just in case the fanfic goes too far. We'll see if forZe can keep farming rounds. They got many in a row. I think it was 5. Mad Lions couldn't stop them. Can't keep getting away with it. I'll see if the execute from Mad Lions is going to bear too much. They've got 2 smokes. Flash, Molly. All the nice pieces you could ask for on a B-side hit. And there's 3 players in proximity here for forZe. And a nade that could meet them at the entrance.
And that nade's it's getting primed up. Jerry, of course, going to be smoking off first. Is that really going to be a nade to go? Oh, no.
They're wrapping.
He tries to chuck the nade out to stop them from the wrap, but they're actually able to move past regardless. And this is going to make this such an uncomfortable pincer, but the perfect reaction from forZe. They move into Hobbit. They've got 3 and 4. Woro all alone. This is safety side simulator. And Woro, this time, Norway will end up falling. But man, he's hightailing it for the A bomb site.
Yeah, he's got the bomb. He's out of there. He's somehow wrapped alongside his teammates, not gone all the way through, and then found an entrance that could bear some fruit once more. See if this is ripe or rotten. Woro wrapping around and gets dinked around the side. Zorte just commits to the swing. If he gave him that isolated fight, that would have allowed for the bomb plant, but Zorte just shuts it out. And forZe, they'll take the pistol.
And what a way to do it as well. It looked like it was going to be perfect, the perfect storm for Mad Lions, and they've made every single correct decision. But then Norway and Shelfie just get straight into Hobbit and into pushing through to Banana. With that, they're just able to come through with 4 quick kills, and despite the wraparound, the reaction is just too fast.
They were so concerned about tracing down where Jerry was positioning. They were hot on his heels, and that's what sort of distracted these Mad Lions players enough. Crazy how quick the adaptation there was from forZe.
Yeah.
Recognize the vulnerabilities.
It's also just such a stark difference to the T side, and that is a T side, which, now that we've got some time to talk about it, a lot of parallels to be drawn with Overpass as well. You can see them sort of stiffened in place. Mad Lions get themselves 7 rounds, and then forZe suddenly is like, okay, you know what, we need to pick ourselves up and, fix what's going wrong, and they get it done.
Yeah, a lot of it being found on lurks as well, so... See if forZe can stop that happening to them. Of course, we saw some of the dangers that can arise, and basically off of these pistols, forZe never got their economy stabilized. Pulling back to Overpass, and once again will lose out on one of their premium weapons on the very first duel.
Of course, Mad Lions themselves had a bit of a shaky Overpass for a map that they themselves picked on their T side, only 3 rounds there. So if we're going off of previous maps, which we really shouldn't, not a good sign for them.
Overpass and Inferno are very similar. Very rotate heavy. T sides get a lot of freedoms, it feels like.
Kind of, yeah, but obviously at the end of the day, you don't want to judge someone's Inferno off of their Overpass,
of course,
and vice versa. Of course, rotation backwards from Jerry could be pivotal. He needs to find him a couple of kills, maybe even 2. He wants to stop the B-bomb site from being taken over. Norway, in the meanwhile, trying to take care of 1 prong of assault, and he's dropped the bomb as well. Jerry just needs to make sure it cannot be planted. 5 seconds, and Jerry's moved through, but he's got the wrong kill. Borup gets it down.
They've got their rifles equipped here on the side of Mad Lions as well. A FAMAS and an M4 and double Molotovs, so they can really buy a lot of time if they get space enough to throw these. No kits here for CTs either. forZe have to make a move and find an opening quick.
They're just not willing to throw the Molotovs out there. They'll reveal their positions and be caught out. Zorte trades, but this is Borup who needs to be headshot down. No head armor, so that M4A1's going to be plenty deadly, but Borup coming in from the back can take him down. And I mean, that just comes down to Jerry, who makes what would have been the right decision 9 times out of 10, but this is just that one time where you had to take down the bomb planter before you took down the person dueling with you.
Yeah, I don't think he really had much of a choice. It came to that they paced themselves into the bomb site fast enough that the first person that he would have seen was actually players just swinging right into him, and they were a threat. So it's kind of a forced error. And if Jerry could have survived a little bit longer, then he would have almost certainly made that right call. And it's overturned. Well, you could get away with just the pistol. Now suddenly you're having to fight from behind once again. Force buy from forZe. Nade is pretty solid, but a little mistimed. They're pacing in with the SMGs, and Jerry's got a kill around the top, but he has to reload, and TMB gets all the kills they need to. This is looking like a done deal. No shining light at the end of the tunnel here for forZe on this one. Mad Lions will be able to tie things up.
For a second there, it looked like, you know what, Mad Lions could end up losing a few heads, but no, not quite.
Yeah, Jerry was spamming his deagle furiously, so...
It is one of those places, Michael, where you start to think that, guys, please start switching to the 5-7. We've seen a couple of teams do that, and boy, it can smack.
Yeah, it's one more bullet to bodies in these like close range fights, but yeah, you get those headshots as well.
A lot more stable on the spam.
For sure, and cheaper.
Yeah. Something you can never forget, even if the M4A1 does help out in that regards.
All right. Lead to be taken here for Mad Lions. Something that they held for most of the game. Only for forZe to make that comeback on the T side. It's all about minimizing casualties as we move on forward. Both teams have really suffered as a result of losing too many players when they shouldn't when you compare buys. It's only when forZe stabilize their money that they start to get more and more success. You know, the rich get richer.
I'm sorry, that little spot just makes me think of... That's probably what cheerleaders look like the first time they're trying cheerleading. Hey, you stand there, I'm here, okay. No, but no, that's my spot. No, okay.
There's too many players and not enough room. This arch ain't big enough for the 4 of us.
Well, the B bomb site's just big enough for all the Mad Lions to fit in and get a bomb plant down. So,
yeah, pretty accommodating.
Indeed.
I imagine lines take up a lot of... Yeah, I imagine lines take up like a large area. Pretty sizable creatures.
Yeah.
But also
have you ever seen a lion?
In person?
Yeah.
No.
They look very cool. They also sleep a lot.
Where have you seen a lion?
A zoo.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that
That's still in person. Like...
In that case, I'm not sure. I haven't been to a zoo since I was like a wee lad.
Well, right now, Mad Lions and forZe are both serving the spectators, just sitting in their cages on either side. No one really looking to disturb each other. The ecosystem can be maintained.
Most excellent. Yeah, my memory from childhood is rough. I was convinced for a long time that I was never read bedtime stories, you know?
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't remember it. And so I'm pretty sure I went around and, oh, my parents were not happy.
like, Michael, we read Goldilocks to you
how many
times
How many times are you going to
night?
recant the hat and you don't remember it?
Especially because, you know, I'm sure they were very upset at the idea of having to read the same story over and over again. Because, you know, all my siblings are going through parenthood right now and they're all telling, like, Mamoon, I need to read the same book to ride 7 times a day.
Hopefully these guys don't have the same memory issues. Of course, all these guys pretty young on the server.
Yeah.
Talking about all that experience that they can gain from the conference. Of course, that path to Pro League is certainly something that they want to attain. It's not about money anymore. It's all about the potential future for these players.
Indeed. And for these orgs, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, both Mad Lions and forZe have been orgs that have been, you know, sort of on the brink of tier 2, tier 1.5 so many times over. Pro League is the stage which really proves where, you know, you are on the top of the top, and that's what you can take to sponsors, investors, more players if you want to, you know, maybe swap out rosters later on, which I don't think either one of these teams will, though.
Just to talk about the stat that's on screen, I mean, Jerry, no surprises there. forZe were a squad that were like, they grinded out like thousands of maps over any significant pro team at one point or another. I think in
were
2020
always-
they had about 1,000 maps.
They were one of those teams which was just always playing.
Yeah.
It just never stopped.
Well, I might not have been at the top of his game for very long. Jerry's got a wealth of experience as a result of just grinding it out. First real test now here for Mad Lions on this T side. Of course, after winning that second round, forZe were heavily crippled. Oh my goodness, this is creepy. This is sneaky stuff here from Waro. He's moving through the arches smoke. They're trying to get aggressive over towards top B here on this T side, but they're keeping forZe preoccupied. And Waro, if he committed to the flank, could be in for a fantastic round.
And sorsol has sold it. sorsol has sold the fact that this flank is happening by just firing out two
They have
shots
no
over
idea.
there. It all comes down to Waro and his play, but the flash already gives Jerry one, and Shelfie follows up, but the 2 for 2 is about to go lopsided. Waro coming in from the perfect angle to cut off Norway as well. And
They're
with
waiting.
the smoke on Coffin, he's blocked out, but they can wait that smoke out very comfortably. Waro has threaded the needle in every sense of the word. The only problem is that now the player hugs so close. Oh, he can spot the hips down. This is going to be
easy.
a quick one from Waro.
Free.
He even ensures it. Takes down Norway. And now with Zorte's demise, Kenzie, he's just going to be whiling away some more time trying to save.
That's just way too free. Waro had such a great timing on short. Nobody moving away from that B bomb site after the initial 3-player stack because they just wanted to keep on fighting. They were so preoccupied about taking top banana control away from the Mad Lions that they don't recognize that there's a massive hole in the defense. No one's considering that Arch's smoke could be compromised.
And I mean, a lot of that comes down to sorsol firing out those shots, yes, but at the same time, you know, if you're Mad Lions, maybe you've also got something in the back of your head saying, why is there Lurker randomly firing shots? The Lurkers don't just pre-fire pit. That doesn't happen.
It's also just one of those positions where, like, sure, there's only 2 of you on that A bomb site. You can take a gamble, but it's so predicated on one of those B players rotating back to pick up that slack, and it just never happened. So it felt like there was a bit of a miscommunication about what these B players wanted to do versus what the A players were set up for. And so Mad Lions just fully exploit it. Really fantastic work there from Waro, just playing it patient, playing it cool, and I think effectively communicating to the rest of the Mad Lions squad that they could simply wait for him to pull the trigger on the flank.
And I mean, we're once again in a position where Mad Lions have found themselves a wonderful opening. First half as well, we saw Mad Lions take away 4 rounds in a row before forZe could get on the board. This time, despite forZe getting the pistol round, this is going to be 4 for Mad Lions now coming through.
Not where you want to be, and more 5-7s than Deegs here from forZe. Not fully committing to the buy.
Good nade on a Shafi.
Yeah, seemed like a double, but the second one was a little shallow. One way for Kenzie will get nothing, and meanwhile Waro's found a pick over that B bomb site. It's a little bit of weakness. Maybe forZe break down the setup, go to reinforce the other side, and Kenzie getting caught in transition as a result. That's the M4 and the kit dropped. Their best weapons. Yeah, they have no
best
idea.
chances, yeah.
No idea where Mad Lions are going.
Mad Lions don't have any idea where they're going. They're playing a 1-3-1 setup. They can go wherever they want to.
Yeah, they're waiting to see if there's a counter reaction. You know, very often JL would look for information on his CT side when they were down in numbers, and so expecting forZe will make a similar reaction, but not to be. Just sitting inside of the bomb slide, playing CT on B. And they gambled wrong.
I mean, either way, even if you gamble correctly, it's just such a difficult set of kills to find. Admittedly, with 30 seconds left, the 5-7 can actually be quite deadly, but we'll have to wait to see whether Zorte can find anything over here. Oh, that looked like it was on point, but shot doesn't quite rattle off to the head, and it is going to be the demise of the counter-terrorist side.
Honestly, Waro has just been rude. He lurks in, kills the B player, and then on a late lurk, tries to actually deals with the player saving. It was after he had a fantastic flank in a round prior. This guy can't stop flanking.
He's up to 17 and 10 as well. Waro, of course, first half wasn't too kind to him. Wasn't able to get his AWP out as many times as he wanted to. And now that, you know what, it's T's side, he's not even going to try. Gets it down with the rifle.
Honestly, if Mad Lions win this, I could not be more pleased. And I know what you're thinking. You're being like, oh, what? Bias? What? But if you didn't know, when we looked at the veto, we saw what that third map was going to be. It's the permaban for both of these teams. It's Vertigo as a decider. And that's the kind of chaos I live for.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe you don't like Dust too, but you're looking forward to Vertigo between
No.
teams that don't
Yeah,
play.
two teams that don't have a Scooby. What's going on?
Well, of course, we're still looking at a tail that could be far away. Mad Lions are chasing it, but for them to arrive there, they need to be able to clear through 3 more rounds. Shelby inside. The Flash is able to get one. Waro, who's moved past, is good for another, but bores the trade, and Zorte will be trying to move past that smoke and move in to support Kenzie, who himself is about to be caught out. But Waro, another moment for him to get more. Flanks on flanks on flanks.
This guy really cannot stop flanking people. It's 2-on-2 onto this bomb site, and now they are going to want to commit to this here on the side of forZe. They do have a kit. They have the utility to try and make this work, but the crossfire already established within the bomb site is going to be a hard one to break.
And we've seen so few attempts at retaking onto this A bomb site so far. Waro is going to have to cut off Jerry immediately. There's no Molotov to force him out. Jerry knows what the call is. Flashbang straight over. Should be able to blind that Waro, but no, rather, that's a smoke. Now comes out the flash, and the call's been made, but Jerry's gone, and with that, the round as well will be forfeit. Norby cannot physically get onto the bomb fast enough at that rate, but Waro, you know what, he just puts him out of his misery regardless. 4 kills for the man.
Man, the fight at the Arches to start that whole sequence off was so hectic. Everyone was blind. Like, War has to creep through a smoke after his teammates are already running past that first player. But if not for the fact that Waro's got some great timings sort of internalized to what fours are going to be looking at and when, Mad Lions could be in a bit of a dire circumstance on that A side hit. Felt like fours were dealing with the short side pressure well enough. They've struggled to get around since the pistol.
All right, well, Kenzie, a man who's not been all that present, and admittedly, most of fours haven't been in the second half.
I like that he's gone for, I would say a basketball reference with Mark Your Man, but it could be football as well.
It's also football, yeah. Man marking is a thing in most sports.
And yeah, just, you know, equal number of sports. That's fair. I like to live vicariously through basketball.
Non-equal number of sports?
Yeah. Now you're really putting me on the spot for that one.
Well, Kenzie was hoping to make this non-equal numbers for her, but can't quite accomplish it. We'll just be forced to back off.
Maybe when adults play children. Maybe that's not really sports though. It's more like a showcase on humility.
forZe, however, right now, not appreciating the showcase of humility being sent straight back to them. Shalfi, quick push through. Soso will suffer as a result of it. They found themselves the advantage. Zorti, that spam's going to get you nothing, brother. No one on the other side there.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, true.
Here we go. Oh my god, he just can't keep getting away with this, man.
Oh, he just owns Arches at this point. He's got
an invisibility cloak or something.
Something like that. It's a deathly halo right there. Nori, though. Ooh. This collection back towards Banana is going to be very difficult for them to deal with. There's no utility here whatsoever. TMB's been tagged so they know where they are. The call can be made to rotate back, but Woro's still so damn annoying. He's playing from the inside the cubby. Nori's still holding down the ground. Got himself a quick kill, but JL's entry onto the bomb site has basically secured them this round. Waro, this time, finally. They finally find him, Michael. JL with a knife out. Oh.
I mean, you can just knife this guy. I'm pretty sure Kenzie's not going to be clearing this close corner.
Oh,
well, he thought about it for a second, I think, but just trying to establish how many numbers were there. And Shalfi, alone in CT, solitary. One is a lonely number. And that's the only round. I mean, that's the round count from this half here from forZe. They cannot get CT rounds together. Mad Lions just keep finding solutions via flanks, these great timings where forZe aren't looking or honoring smokes in the same way that you would expect. They're just getting hammered continuously. And if you look at that B-side hit, you could see there was this paranoia that set in. They knew that archers were compromised. They knew that Waro could potentially be flanking into B again. So Jerry was nowhere to be seen in terms of helping Norway on those initial pushes. And considering Norway gets that first kill, you know, if Jerry's there to help provide a bit more firepower, add to the chaos, it could have actually been a solid crunch from those two players with, albeit only pistols, but enough that it could have made things very dicey there for Mad Lions. But the paranoia from the Archer's flank was certainly present, and misses on both the opening picks on the AWP. I would say uncharacteristic for both of them, but we haven't really seen too many flashy AWP plays. Very rarely seen Waro with the AWP most of this game, in fact.
It almost feels like Waro on the T side shouldn't have an AW with the kind of plays he's been trying to make. A bit of lean out between him and Sorte. This will not be an unexciting duel. Sorte's going to be the first one to blink, and that means he's dead. Moves through for the peak, gets antsy. Waro's just too patient.
Giving me hard protagonist vibes as the main character.
Molotov through. Kenzie's already rotated. He's been the real antagonist for this team so far, but Waro will crush him. Mad Lions setting up for 15, but Jerry's all that stands between them. Norway is nowhere to be seen. They've got to commit. They won't have themselves a buy in the next one either. At one point, you have to go for it, and Jerry is really giving us a case for it. But Norway, nowhere to be found, nowhere around, no kit, no nothing.
That's one of the dangers about playing as an anchor and having these firm rules about knowing for sure that the bomb is going to be going over there, establishing that all numbers are there as well to make sure you don't give up the bomb site for free. Norway just a little late on the rotate in spite of the good efforts there from Jerry. You know, if Norway is with him, maybe trades could be accomplished. This could have been feasible, but again, Mad Lions just keep on pulling further and further away. Even if it is only 2-3 players surviving for them, it has been so consistent in terms of how they're sort of navigating around the forZe setups. Man, this Mad Lions T side has been honestly very, very impressive. But at the same time, you know, you're peeking into areas of the map without flashes here on the side of the on the CT side. You know, you're not going in with the same level of caution that I think that could have really benefited them from this half. They got away with some dry face stuff on Overpass, but we were really more impressed by the synergy that they had on that first map. But it feels far more disjointed, and that's that pressure being applied. The fact that Mad Lions are now within touching distance of forcing it into the third map.
It's also where I have to start asking, hey Jerry, if he's not able to get the frags, if he's not able to, feel like he's in a position, they're setting up for the full execute with one player for a quick hull spot, from what I can tell.
I ain't really seen players line that up from the boosted roof, but then he dropped down anyway, so guess I won't see it.
You know what? We're going to have to hold the point, because right now it's all about the arches. Smokes that have blocked out the B rotates from coming through. Norway is not pushing. He is simply afraid to do so. They're going to actually pop flash through from library if Chalpy wants to get aggressive. He will not find it, though. It's the trades from Borup that keep coming through. Sorte on the bomb site can still keep things even, but Waro even finding him, and Kenzie is just dominated. Borup has come through and cleaned up the site like it's nothing. Norway all alone now.
He's a dead man.
Waro is going to deliver him the death that really was written in his fate. Michael, that is domination coming through from Mad Lions.
Yeah, they lose the pistol, but as soon as they overturn that second round, forZe could never get anything going. How many times do we see Waro make use of